Guys, once again, we're coming from the World Board Gaming Championships in Pennsylvania. I'm losing my voice, I apologize.
No worries.
We are here with Greg Smith, a guy that I'm starting to consider a pretty good dude and a friend. So we appreciate you taking some time.
I think we're following into that category.
Yeah. So he's designed many games, as we all know. One of the games that we're looking at now is Pacific Tide, which is a card-driven game based on the Pacific conflict between Japan and the United States. It's coming out from Compass Games. It's currently on pre-order.
Should be out in September.
So tell us about this game, Greg. Why should we be interested in this game, other than you designed it?
Well, you know, a friend of mine came up with this really unique card-driven system where you use your production to rebuy previous year's cards. And I looked at it and I said, oh man, this is awesome, this is brilliant. But really, it's best used for a strategic situation. Okay, it's where you have a production capability.
Yeah.
So he's actually designing a game using this system for Barbarossa.
Okay.
Which was supposed to be the first game in the system, except this one beat it to the punch. So the sequel's coming out first. Sorry about that.
Cool.
But because of the fact that this card rebuy system uses production points or production capability, it really needed to be a strategic game.
Right.
And since my friend was doing, Germany against Russia, the whole shoot match, I thought, this would really fit perfectly for the Pacific. And the other reason I thought it would be good was because there's so many Pacific games out. I mean, there's no shortage of Pacific games, understood.
Right.
But most of those are just so tedious and so painful. Well, not painful necessarily. I mean, some people really like that.
Involved.
But the point is sometimes you just don't want to spend 40 hours on a game. Or, you've got kids or
life,
a job. Those
annoying
annoying things that keep you from wargaming.
Yep.
So, the point is, I thought, wouldn't it be neat if we could make a strategic game that you could finish in 2.5, 3 hours? And so that was my design objective.
Got it.
And it took a little work, but I think we got there. And it's card driven, but the heart of the system, like I said, the combat's reasonably simple. There's a lot of abstraction taking place. I mean, folks, we have the entire Pacific on a map that's like smaller than standard size.
Right.
But the heart of the system is the card-driven aspect where you rebuy previous year's cards and you have to plan. And there's card sequencing issues. You've got to decide, do I play this first? Some cards can't be used unless they're sitting on the table. Well, I don't know, what's an example? Bonsai attacks.
Yep.
Unless I have this if this is sitting in my hand, I can't use it. But if it's on the table, I can. So do I play this first, or do I go for a tactical advantage on the map?
Right.
And so you sort of like, and a lot of people I think are familiar with Paths of Glory, where you have those sort of agonizing decisions to make about which card do I play first. And we've got that going here. So I'm really happy with it. People have enjoyed it in the testing phase, so I think it'll be good.
Yeah. So the game really focuses on the card-driven aspect. Uses those cards, you can buy them back, but it is a point-to-point movement on a fairly small map. But it's interesting. I noticed when we were playing, I really liked how you had a lot of range and you were able to really get places fairly quickly.
It is strategic. I mean, each turn is a year.
Yeah.
But of course, you've got multiple card plays in that year.
Yeah.
But still, when you think about it, being able, moving two areas, even though it looks really far on the map, it's actually really reasonable for the scale that's happening.
Yeah.
But
and also liked you've obviously modeled some of the production issues. Japanese have the ability.
The Japanese can increase their production by capturing oil.
Right.
I mean, you kind of sort of have to have that, so you pump that up. The Americans can mess with the Japanese production with submarines, which historically
is painful.
But that also brings up another point, which is fun, that you can use your submarine card either tactically to gain an advantage by trying to kill an enemy carrier, or you can use it carrier point. I mean, or using it strategically by messing with the Japanese production. So that's another choice the player has to make, and we have a lot of cards that are like that, where you can either do A or B, but not both.
Right. Minefields is another example.
Sure.
Lots of
ASW of infantry call up. This is the one where you can either get reinforcements or attack somewhere.
Yep.
Or move and attack. So there's those kind of options. So it's not overwhelming. It's not huge. There aren't 8 billion counters. I mean, there's only very small unit density, just a couple hundred counters.
Right.
But really, the heart of it is the play and the decisions you have to make, and it's fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well,
which is a good sign. I still like it.
Right. We played it, and not a whole game, but it was definitely interactive. I enjoyed thinking about how I was going to do what I needed to do. Planning is a big part of this.
Sure.
Understanding how to use the cards, like you said.
And it plays quickly, too, as you noticed, right?
We actually, once we got it, I felt like we were throwing cards down and doing our actions, and that's good. And I don't want to sit there for an hour and try to figure out what to do.
I mean, you played half a year in just a few minutes, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it has the nice qualities, I believe. I mean, I think I made my objective.
Yep.
Small footprint, the entire war, doable in an evening.
Playable in a couple hours.
But still gives you reasonable results.
There's some meat here.
Well, I tried to touch all the historical bases, and the cards are kind of fun because most of them have historical tie-ins, like Rosie the Riveter, the Marianas Turkey Shoot, the Cactus Air Force, the Coast Watchers, and of course...
if you didn't include that in the game, there'd be a lot of people very upset.
Yeah,
So you did a good job with that.
I tried to, Well, and it was fun, actually, to say to myself, okay, I need a card that does this. Oh, I can call it Coast Watchers, you know, and so it was kind of fun
to create that,
to match the history to the cards. To be honest, and I enjoyed the heck out of making it. So, one other thing is there's a year card that tells you which player is the first player, so he plays first in the turn. But the other important part about this card is it builds in a degrading effect on the Japanese air quality. So that by 45, the Americans have more. It sort of builds in that pilot attrition that they could never get around, and the fact that our training system was better. So that's kind of built in as the years go by.
So what's the schedule on this one? No idea.
I'm leaving tomorrow. When I get home, I'm going to actually proof the counters.
Okay.
And we're going to make a few more map changes. The cards are done, thankfully. Mm-hmm. And so I think September is a real good, hard date for the release. Okay. I don't see that we'll miss it.
Okay. That's great.
I mean, not even by a week. I think it'll be September for sure.
Okay.
And I'm excited. So hopefully people will find it to be a fun way to scratch their Pacific itch without spending a month doing it. Right,
So once again, Greg Smith, Pacific Tide from Compass Games. Look forward to seeing this one over the next couple of months. Awesome. So thanks for your time, Greg.
Grant, always a pleasure.
Yeah,
dude.
good to see you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.